The World Pool Masters is a very special event.
There's never going to be an easy match or an easy draw.
It's like a dream. It's a very big tournament, play the best players in the world.
There are 16 top world-class players.
It's a really strong field, really good mix.
It's called the World Pool Masters for a reason.
The Party Poker World Pool Masters is one of the most coveted titles in 9-ball pool. If you're not invited, you can't play. So for the 16 world-class players here in Barnsley, England, taking down this title is extra special. The draw's like a who's who of pool, featuring names such as Ralph Souke, Darren Appleton, Alex Pagulayan and Shane Van Boning. Defending champion Karol Skaversky was the first casualty, quickly followed by female star Ga-Yeon Kim and Carl Boyes. Now our next match features two of the biggest names in the game, Mika IMMONEN and Efren REYES.
Pool is my life, you know. I eat and breathe pool. You aspire to be the best, and you put your heart into it. Efren is my first round opponent. We've had a lot of battles, and we go back and forth. He's obviously, you know, he's a legend. Living legend. I'm gonna have to bring my whole arsenal against him because he's always got answers.
I've been playing, you know, Mika IMMONEN. Every time he beat me many times, but sometimes I beat him too. But it's very hard to beat him because he got a very strong break.
I feel good about my form. You know, I'm coming here. I'm ready. Definitely one of my dreams to win the World Pool Masters because it's such a trademark event.
I like to win the World Pool Master because I never win like that. I try to win, always try, but I finish only second every time.
Two greats of the sport going head-to-head in round one. There really is no easy match here at the World Pool Masters. IMMONEN took the early initiative. He won the lag and despite a dry break, capitalised on a rare safety error by REYES to take the opener. On then to rack number two. With me in the broadcast booth is Alex Laley, who's got very fond memories of playing Efren REYES in the World Pool Masters. Tell us about it.
The final in '99 and the semi-final in 2000. Great memories, but so long ago, Phil. A productive break for Mika IMMONEN, although he does not see any part of the one ball, so it will be a push out. Maybe a kick shot. Sometimes you'd want to not give your opponent any options. Depends how that one ball is sitting. If he can get to it over the rail. You don't like to give Efren REYES options.
I was very impressed by Mika IMMONEN at the recent World Cup of Pool in partnership with Petri Mikkonen. They put up a really stout title defence. As for Efren REYES, what he doesn't know about pool can be written on the back of half a postage stamp. But he is 59 years of age these days and not the force he once was.
But he can still hit his high gear. There was a final in Norway of the Bergen Open this year that he played against Niels Veyen. And he absolutely drilled Niels. He won 9-2 and he played perfect. Mika now, faced with his own position, managed to avoid the double kiss. Very containing shot, but executed to perfection. Good shot.
Yes, that World Cup of Pool I was telling you about. He was the senior partner, of course, as Finland got through to the semi-finals, overcoming the likes of England B and Korea. Austria also as well in the first round, before eventually losing out to the Dutch 9-4. And even in that match, the Finns didn't make any great mistakes. It was more to do with the Dutch efficiency.
Too thick a contact for Efren Reyes. Wanted to get to the other side of the 9-ball. Still a tall order for IMMONEN to get to the 2-ball from the 1. Using the natural angle nicely. A little straight. If he can punch in the 2-ball and come off the long rail, he should be out from here.
He's had a truly glittering career as Mika IMMONEN. Won back-to-back US Open titles, what an achievement that was. And in 2001, perhaps the cherry on the cake, he was crowned World 9-ball champion in Cardiff, Wales.
He recently won the ultimate 10-ball in the States. Played against Wang Can, a new revelation from China, by the way. I think a winning streak comes in cycles, and Mika IMMONEN's lasted a long time, but is some years ago now, and I think he's getting ready for a next one. He's looking more energetic at the table, more powerful.
And he's got mental stamina to burn. When he won the US Open in 2009, he won 14 straight matches. In this contest, he simply has to win 8 racks, and he secured 2 of them already.
Started with that nice safety after Efren gave him back the table. Smart push out.
And when he got the opportunity, he was very much on message. Not the best of breaks there, though.
There's 2 ways to execute a cut break. Generally speaking, that's a 3/4 ball hit medium hard with body action, or cutting it a little more, spinning the cue ball, just like Mika IMMONEN did. It's more like a soft medium hit. And I think the latter is harder to execute consistently. He has a shot on the 1, and he has Efren as an opponent. Does he want to get involved into a safety battle? He did win the last one. Makes a world of difference how close you position that cue ball behind the blocking ball. I don't think Efren has a route in between the rail and the 4-ball. He's massaging into the rail. What a shot. Great shot. Actually, I must say it is a great shot, but the rail in this case helps. It makes it easier for that cue ball to hook towards that one ball.
Well, they call him the magician, and we've just seen one of his tricks.
Looking at a containing safety, at least the object ball safe and maybe the bonus. A two-rail escape over the right side of the table for Efren. He's favorite to hit the one ball, but of course he would like to play a resave to make something happen here. Travel towards the 4. Wow, what a shot by Efren. He chose a more difficult path, one rail, but with a bigger probability of getting lucky. That's what he always says, I got lucky, but the more I practice, the luckier I get.
Nearly. But the cue ball jarring in the jaws of that top pocket has really helped Efren Reyes. Really helped. His tactical mastery and ability to see a shot that no one else can, I think, is unparalleled. There, though, fortune helped.
Yeah, beautiful. You can't beat that. A big miss there by Mika. It was not an easy shot. You'd expect him to make it.
Yes, especially after the momentum gain from that one. And so Reyes should have the simplest of propositions to run out and make it 2-1. We were talking about the World Cup of Pool right at the start of this match, of course, Alex. Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante won the inaugural World Cup of Pool, and their popularity in their native Philippines knows no bounds. Put the shoulder into that, not exactly technically textbook, but it worked.
It's not a jury sport.
It sure isn't, but there, Efren Reyes found guilty of pulling a rack back. He trails 2-1. Welcome back to the Party Poker World Pool Masters. This error by Mika IMMONEN, close to the end of the 4th, cost him the rack and the lead. Reyes, with ball in hand, level the match at 2-2. On then to the 5th.
Two balls down, but he needs a third ball to cross the line of the kitchen. This is an illegal break and control passes.
Yes, the break rule incorporated in this tournament is that you have to have 3 balls cross the head string, which is the pool equivalent of the ball line in snooker. Either that or balls across the head string and balls potted need to be 3 or more. And their requirements were not met.
Nice try by IMMONEN. He did not get there. Efren sees the 3-ball. He can pocket, but he is considering, has looked at the 3-9 carom possibility. And didn't deliver the cue with the required subtlety. This can be considered a sellout. Wanted to hit the 3-ball softer. Wanted to play it as a shot to nothing, leaving the 3 with the 5-8. Good speed. He's close to his work, but this will be the key shot. I do think the 5 goes to the side pocket.
Well, what an excellent try. How unlucky. He's stuck to the intervening ball. The black 8.
That's not too bad. Leaving maximum distance for Efren. Efren, who is still struggling in this match. Scores leveled, but he hasn't looked fluid.
Well, I was just about to say that with the passing of the years, the one part of his game that's become a weakness has been potting from distance, but there, no problem whatsoever.
He used that special shoulder push technique.
You've been out there on the table with him, Alex, in high-profile tournaments. I suppose his reputation is worth a couple of racks.
Yes, but the good thing with Efren is that he, in most of the matches, he does make 1-2 mistakes. He steals many racks with little tricks and special shots, but he also makes mistakes.
He'll soon be 60, but I tell you what, he's still a rare competitor. IMMONEN was unlucky to snooker himself like that. Great pot though from Reyes to get himself in. And from there, the rest was routine.
Rack 6, from Reyes to break, leading 3 racks to 2.
Last break of Efren, he made 2 balls, but no third ball crossed the line. He needs to add some speed. Okay, this is a legal break. And a perfect shot on a 1. This should be a rack point for Efren. Could be a good rack for him to gain momentum, to pick up some rhythm.
He's playing in England for the first time since 2006. And right now, a marginal favourite, you would say, to make a winning return. He's never won this World Masters title, one of the few big events missing from his CV. But compatriots do have their names on the trophy. Francisco Bustamante in 1998 and again in 2001. And Dennis Acolo in Las Vegas in 2010. You can't keep a champion down. Efren Reyes leads 4-2. Efren Reyes, he has got so many titles. Basically, he's lost count. So have most people, but he doesn't mind winning another one here, you know. He would love to be World Masters champion. And right now, in the first round against Mika IMMONEN, he's the man in control. 4-2 ahead and breaking off in rack 7, although that not to his liking.
He is making balls though. Previous break was successful, led to a run out. That is something that IMMONEN, without a doubt, has noticed. Good speed, just no snooker. Actually, it came out too much. What a testing shot on the one this would be. IMMONEN likes to hit the ball at medium pace. He's not a player to float the ball as Suke does so much.
If you're just joining the programme, I can tell you that IMMONEN looked very good indeed in taking the first 2 racks. Since then, though, Reyes has reeled off 4 in succession. And the early self-assurance displayed by IMMONEN, well, it's a little lacking at the moment, especially if the gap is there for this shot. Well, how about that? He overcut the 1 ball and he's left it on.
Did not have an angle to draw straight back and play the 2 in the same pocket. But this is good. Nice angle to punch towards the 4 ball with the cue ball. And he's out from here. Well, it's not a guarantee, but there are no challenges any further. No clusters, all pockets available.
I think it's fair to say that Mika IMMONEN is the best cueist that Finland has ever produced. One fine snooker player emerged from Finland by the name of Robin Hull, who won the World Junior Championship at one point. But sadly, illness has dogged him during his professional career. IMMONEN was actually born in London, England. But he's a proud Finn. And he continues to represent that country exceedingly well.
And knowing that IMMONEN has started with snooker, he's an accomplished snooker player, it always marvels me the way he prepares his shot, his pre-strokes, his warm-up strokes. There's no pause.
IMMONEN back where he wants to be, winning racks.
Rack 8, Mika IMMONEN to break, trailing 3 racks to 4.
Okay, so the aim of IMMONEN now is to draw back onto level terms.
He hit the break too soft. The corner ball, the wing ball of the rack was heading towards the corner pocket, but too slow. And it was kissed away. Not an easy positional route though for Efren. Maybe he'll try and kiss the 2 ball. Is it luck? Well, it was an educated guess. And he plays better than where it was situated before. Didn't fancy the 3-8 combination. Has to settle now for this tricky shot.
Well, he loaded up with side, didn't he? And with the cue ball and object ball so close together, judging the potting angle is never easy, and the two things together made him miss it by some way. Grossly undercut the red 3-ball.
Needs to make a lot of angle off of the 4.
Well, the match has ebbed and flowed, and if this one goes in down the rail, almost certainly they will be locked together again. These two colossally talented, colossally successful. When an immovable object meets an irresistible force, something has to give. But which one is which? Here, Efren Reyes and Mika IMMONEN tied 4-4.
Rack 11, Efren Reyes to break, 5-5.
A superb match in progress at the Party Poker World Pool Masters. Racks 9 and 10 were shared, and so 4-4 has become 5-5. Anyone's guess who will go through.
And a repeat of previous breaks of Efren. He is making balls on the break. He is controlling the cue ball, but that one ball is traveling slow and again covered by another ball.
Push out call.
But Efren is not the best breaker in the world. That would be an understatement, because the break is his weakness. He does not have different types of breaks to choose from. Does not have that luxury. Another player, perhaps, possibly, would try something different if one sort of break is not working. IMMONEN sees the one, part of the one. So what can the magician have in mind? The safety is tricky. He would need to go between the red 3 and the pink 4. He's loading it up with check side. Oh, nice shot. Nice try. I do think it was on, he just executed it poorly.
Twice in this match, IMMONEN has led 2-0 and more recently 5-4. Can he thrust his nose in front for a third time? Wow, used a lot of the jaws there. That was not a clean pot. And his prevailing emotion when the ball finally flopped into the pocket must have been one of immense relief.
Yeah, this match has the same vibe for me as the match between REYES and Feyenoord.
Quiet, please.
A lot of intensity in the air. It's a first round match. Players very respectful to their opponent. Somewhat anxious.
Yes, and with the lineup here, there's no such thing as a soft opening. You have to go in running, considering the level of opposition you're going to face. Well done, Mika IMMONEN. Efren Reyes made the mistake. The Finn did the rest. He's flown into a 6-5 lead. So just 2 more racks required, and the great man Reyes will be eliminated.
Leading 6 racks to 5.
IMMONEN moved to the left side of the table, his left side, trying to make something happen. His preferred right side was not paying dividend, and this is. He will have an angle on the red 3-ball. So he will need to maneuver around the 5. That's no good. Possibly too anxious about that angle on the 3, trying to get as straight in as possible. Loss of position, and this is not even an easy or straightforward safety. Big chance of a double kiss. Wow, what a shot. Something to learn there for all aspiring players. When the safety is so difficult, maybe better than to go all in.
And shots like that change matches. It looks as though for the second time in the match, Mika IMMONEN is going to have a 2-rack cushion. And from 4 to adrift, it looks as though he's going to win 5 of the next 6 racks. Indeed, no dramas on the 9-ball. IMMONEN moves on to the hill. He needs 1 more rack to defeat Efren Reyes. But Alex Lowley, IMMONEN, despite his position of dominance, will know the job is far from done.
Rack 13, Mika IMMONEN to break.
But
leading 7 racks
moving
to
to the left on the break. Has paid dividend, has given him profit, and this also works as a booster of confidence. If you know that you have figured out the break and the speed and that you will be getting shots, that gives a lot of confidence. Add to that Efren Reyes not getting position on the first shot after the break a couple of times. The 4 and 7, good place to hide behind. Doesn't need to attack from here.
And the 8 comes into the equation also.
He did it. I think he did it.
Well, from IMMONEN's body language and that of Reyes, I don't think the snooker is there. I think IMMONEN can get through to the 2-ball. Just thinking, you know, as Reyes went back to his chair there, it's impossible to calculate how many racks of pool he must have played in his life. He must have come across virtually every eventuality and then played in some extraordinary venues, both in tournaments and for hard cash. What a story he could tell. And after that, he might be playing for a while longer here in Barnsley. The 3 will pot. It's tough, but it goes.
Intricate choice of shot by IMMONEN. He had a straight shot on the 2, could have played a draw shot to leave himself straight on the 3, which seemed to pass the 9-ball. Never threatened to the pocket, Efren Reyes. And that is the harsh part, that with age his B game is weakening. But now and then, once and again, he can still bring his A game. So it's very tough for him, I suspect, to accept the lack of consistency.
Yes, Reyes falling victim to exactly the same thing that snooker players find themselves falling victim to as they get older. Even the very best, their potting from distance and also their ability to concentrate for sustained periods declines. People assume that pool players and aging snooker players aren't so successful as the years go by because of deteriorating eyesight. It is a factor, but I think more important, the ability or the lack of ability to concentrate and the fact that the pots go astray. Plus, of course, you pick up more and more mental scar tissue.
So here we have it. Efren now needing a lot of action on the cue ball over distance. He cannot play it with topspin, it will kill the cue ball there. Oh, did he make that look easy? He cheated the pocket there, pocketing the 3-ball in the side of the pocket, thereby creating an angle and enabling him to hit it with stun draw and a lot of left hand side.
All of those hours and hours of playing as a youngster, a teenager, then in his prime, and now when he's regarded as a grand old master of the game. And regardless of the result here, it's great to see him back on British shores.
Using his stroke not to force the angle, but to control the angle. Top players leave angles. They try to avoid a position like this. IMMONEN had a shot for the match. It was that long cut on the 3-ball, which he mishit. So after all the mistakes, it will be 7-6.
That's right, and make no mistake, there's plenty of life in the old dock yet.
IMMONEN chose to leave himself a bank shot hit the knuckle, but after Efren's miss on that 3-ball, still had a shot. But he left the door open and the Magician closed the gap.
Rack 14 from raise to break. Train 6 racks to 7.
Match 4 of this fire tournament. Is this the first match that goes the distance? Well, after that, oh dear, what a shame.
Start clock.
And Reyes cannot disguise his frustration. He knows the implications of scratching off the break there.
It's the worst way to go out. The setup of the balls, well, the only challenge would be from the 3 to the 5. What a way to go out.
Chris Melling there on the right-hand side. Pressure off for him. He's already through to the quarterfinals, so he can just sit back and watch and enjoy the others sweating it out.
Yeah, IMMONEN is quite like Melling, if I have to characterize him as a player. They're no grinders, they're rhythm players with a very high A game. Other players I would study for their B game, their safety, their grinding mode, their fighting spirit. Not saying that Melling nor IMMONEN are no fighters, but especially when they're in the zone, that's when they marvel, the crowd and the fans. Played that with a lot of confidence. Confidence in getting the proper angle off of that 3rd rail.
Yes, you have to say, barring a terrible piece of cueing here, the writing is on the wall. In massive letters. A good match, Alex, but in the end, Reyes not quite good enough. And the scratch on the break did cost him dear. Mika steps in, dishes up, and with that, he completes an 8-6 victory over one of the giants of the world of pool. IMMONEN is quarter-final bound.
He's a legend. I was a little bit nervous there in the beginning, but I'm glad it's over with and on to the next round. You don't really want to get into a safety battle with him because he seems to get out of the jail every time you put him. It doesn't even matter where the cue ball lands, and he seems to have a solution. So my strategy was to just break and run, but I wasn't really breaking well, so that turned into a kind of a shooting contest, a little bit like back and forth battle. I played a bit aggressive too, just because playing safety against him is not always the best solution. So I made a couple of aggressive shots, and it paid off.
So the magician Efren Reyes exits the stage, unable to work his magic, losing to Mika. Next time, 6 times Masters champion Ralph Souquet will face Mosconi Cup teammate Nick Economopoulos for a place in the last 8 of the Party Poker World Pool Masters. See you then.